was living alone that winter. About 3 years ago in a quiet suburb of Minneapolis. Right as early December brought the first brutal snowstorms before the holidays. I'd been pulling long hours at my remote job, staring at screens until my eyes burned. So when the blizzard howled in that night, blanketing everything in a thick white shroud, I decided to hunker down. I'd whip up a quick grilled cheese, tackle some overdue laundry, and maybe binge a few episodes of that true crime series I'd been avoiding. Ironic, in hindsight. The neighborhood was a ghost town, filled with older folks and retirees who barricaded themselves indoors at the first flake around 9 p.m. As I shuffled into the living room with a steaming mug of tea, I caught headlights creeping down the street like a predator in the dark. At first, I pegged it for a city plow, but no. It was a beat-up white pickup with a rusty plow blade. Slapped on the front, no logos, no flashing lights, just a dented bumper catching the street lamp glow. The driver inched past my house so slowly, I could almost hear the tires crunching snow. Like he was scanning for something, I shrugged it off. Maybe a lost delivery guy or someone hunting for an address in the whiteout. 10 minutes later, the lights returned, even slower this time. The truck practically idling as it crawled by. At the lip of my driveway, it paused. A deliberate stop. Headlights piercing my front window like accusatory eyes. Was he staring at the house? At me? A chill unrelated to the storm prickled my skin. I yanked the blind shut, heart picking up a notch, but rationalized it away. Probably a neighbor's pal moonlighting as a plow for hire. Scouting jobs. 20 minutes ticked by in uneasy silence, the wind whipping flakes against the panes like tiny fingernails. Then, the knocking began soft, almost courteous. Barely cutting through the gale, a tap, tap, tap at the front door. I froze mid-fold of a towel, pulse thudding. Who knocks at this hour? In a blizzard unless it's an emergency. Creeping to the peephole, I peered out. Nothing but swirling snow and an empty porch. Weird, but maybe the wind playing tricks. I shook it off and returned to my chores. Not long after, it came again. This time from the window beside the door. Sharp raps, insistent I crack the blinds a sliver. Breath fogging the glass, expecting a face pressed close. Empty, just fresh powder piling on the railing, the storm raging sideways across the yard. My chest tightened. A knot of unease forming. Back to the dishes I went. Suds sloshing, but my mind raced. Dumb kids pranking in the snow. Or worse, a deranged intruder toying with me like a cat batting at a mouse before the kill. I'm an overthinker, so scenarios spiraled, but I laughed it off. Mostly. Another knock shattered the fragile calm. From the back door. Just 15 feet away in the kitchen, adrenaline surged. I snatched the largest chef's knife from the block, gripped slick with soap and edged toward the door, peering through the glass. Void. But there, in the fresh snow, a single set of boot prints marched straight up to the threshold and stopped. No retreat, no side steps, just vanished. Like whoever it was had evaporated into the night. My body went rigid. Every hair standing on end. I flicked off lights room by room, plunging the house into shadow to feign absence, though deep down I knew. They knew I was here. Minutes dragged like hours before the next one. Same rhythmic taps at the side window by the dining room. Creeped out, didn't cover. This wasn't funny, not even for reckless teens. Guts screaming danger. I checked, empty again. But I swear in a blur I caught the hem of a dark coat whipping around the house corner. Too fast for details, gone in the flurry police. I hesitated, paranoid much. Maybe a drunk neighbor disoriented. I waited, knife clutched, an hour of tense silence passing. No truck. No knocks. Mercury.
Near midnight, I retreated to my cozy basement setup. A recent Reno with plush carpet, my gaming PC, and a sliding glass door to the backyard for fresh air on milder days. Fired up a game, lost myself in pixels, the weirdness fading. An hour in, a primal dread hit, like eyes boring into my back. I swiveled slowly, and in the monitor's reflection a silhouette loomed at the glass door. A dark human shape, motionless, staring and stomach plummeting, I spun. For a heartbeat I glimpsed him, a hulking figure in a heavy coat, hood shadowing his face, before he melted into the night. No hesitation. I dialed 911, voice trembling as the dispatcher probed. A metallic scrape echoed upstairs, the front door lock being jimmied. "He's breaking in!" I hissed. "Hide," she urged, but the door creaked open, followed by maniacal laughter and thundering footsteps toward the basement stairs. Phone slipped from my hand. Panic blinded me. I jammed on my heavy ice fishing boots, left downstairs after shoveling and coat, then bolted out the sliding door into the blizzard coast clear. I sprinted, slipping in drifts, pounding on the neighbor's door like a lunatic. They let me in. I redialed cops from their line. Officers arrived, searched my place, he'd vanished, but inside, carnage not theft. Rage-fueled destruction, cabinets gutted, couch eviscerated, drawers appended, mattress flipped, clothes strewn, PC toppled, phone smashed on my work whiteboard. "I'll be back," sleep tight in jagged scrawl. Cops advised against staying, no kidding, crashed at a friend's. Sleepless next day, lease broken, moved out in a week, footprint circled the house multiple times. Same treads at every knock spot, never caught him. Truck gone, what haunts me? Not the knocks or shadow, but how long he'd watched, mapping my life, timing every move. I haven't lived alone since.
I snagged this house for its bargain price and serene vibe, perched at the edge of a sleepy Michigan town on a dead-end street. Decent backyard fading into a ragged tree line, then endless woods, peaceful in summer. But in winter, it felt like an isolating void, the world ending at those skeletal branches. This unfolded last January during a relentless snow siege, flakes falling daily. Working from home, I'd been cabin-bound for days. Rise, grind, snack, screen glare, crash. No outings, just isolation's quiet hum. First sighting of the light. I wasn't even pondering the woods. From my kitchen window, a faint glow flickered low among the trunks. Steady, not a reflection or distant car, like a forgotten lantern abandoned in the drifts. It held still. I stared a full minute, awaiting a hiker or vehicle. Nothing. Then it dimmed softly as if shrouded. I dismissed it. Hunter? Kid's prank? And hit the sack. Morning inspection. Pristine yard snow, save one boot print trail emerging left from trees, arcing lazily across the back, hugging the fence, then vanishing right into the woods. No direct house approach, no loitering clusters, just a casual perimeter stroll, unmoving. But I rationalized. Random wanderer taking a shortcut, people are odd. Let it go. 2 nights on, the glow returned, living room. Laptop humming, TV dark, blinds half drawn on the sliding door. Reflection caught it first, same-ish spot, slightly centered, solitary gleam amid trunks, unmoving. Felt deliberate, now I pressed nose to glass, watching too long when it drifted. Parallel to the house, gliding behind trees like a paced patrol. Then halted, chest constricted. This ain't right. Locked up, blinds sealed, feigned security. Dawn reveal, fresh prints, identical treads. Emerge central woods, beeline yardward, then paste a straight, worn furrow mid-lawn. Back and forth repetition. curved fence ward back to trees. No aimless meander, purposeful, no more denial. This was targeted. Patterns solidified over days, post 11 p.m. glow, varying depths and spots, never identical mornings. New tracks, fence skimming, crisscross mazes, one a rough yard circle, another a stomped flat vigil spot. Always skirting the house threshold, toying with my comfort zone, like calibrated torment. Sleep evaporated, paranoia bloomed, imagined his form, gaunt, wild-eyed locks, triple-check TV droning for company. Exhaustion and fury peaked at 3 a.m., glow seeping through blinds, mocking snout. Boots over PJ's coat, flashlight marched out, cold searing lungs, snow to calves, glow shrank up close yet intensified, tracked straight, silence amplifying each crunch. Tree line breached, patchy snow, clearer view, no lantern. A pitiful campfire, embers dominant, log perched man. Hat, hood, bulky coat, snow pants, gloves warming over flames, head swiveled slow under my beam. Unfazed. You're on my property. I quavered, dull eyes blinked, sleepless hollows. Didn't expect you out. Casual, like I'd intruded. You've been here days, can't camp behind houses unannounced. No sorry, no excuse. Like the trees, good cover. Cover twisted, my gut swept light. Tarp, windbreak, crate, sleeping bag, pot, nomadic, quick pack set up. How long? Shrug a bit. Can't stay, need help? I'll call. Words betrayed knowledge of his stares. First real smile, chilling. Wasn't staring, watching patterns. What patterns? Glanced houseward, lights, curtains, movements, casual as chit-chat. I retreated instinctively. Cops tomorrow if you're here. Okay. Smile faded. Back to fire, dismissed. I fled, pace quickening, porch glance. Faint flame, dark shapes, hands trembled, locking door. Told myself resolved, cop chat too surreal. He watches curtains. No glow, yard view, dark clearing, thought gone. But instinct nagged, he'd anticipated my bluff. Ventured out, camp intact, fire, warm ash, deer abandoned, hurried exit or bait. Curiosity overrode, crate rifle, damp photos. My house angles, day night, me and windows on porch, notebook scraps, my routine scrawl, home 5-6, lights out, 1 TV, living room, eats alone. Address topped 1, back good, trees close, no dog, no neighbor views. Phone out, dispatcher, hooked on camp with my pics. Officers gloved up, backpack closed, ski mask, hunting knife, syringes, powdery baggies, tree crack, notebook, leaves alone, good. Tree view good, predictable. No dark visitors. Lower. Noticing me, window more tension up. Last darker. Came out tonight. Close, nervous, brave, time move on, leave gear, loop back. Dated our Confintisa wood search, older pit. Frozen trash, prints to service road, no trace, detective quiz, seized evidence, little else. Patrol boost week later. Notebook addresses linked, break-ins hour away, prior winter watch calls him unfound. That line haunts, move on, leave gear, loop back. I was one in a chain. Abandonment planned. Somewhere, another fire flickers, photos curl, cold encroaches.
The blizzard arrived overnight and erased the street into silence, burying everything under white so thick that not a single light flickered anywhere, not even from the main road. The only reason I didn't notice right away was the generator kicking in before dawn, its steady hum lulling me awake as if nothing were wrong. When I finally looked outside, the neighborhood was pitch black, every house lifeless except mine, glowing alone like a flare in a frozen wasteland. A strange guilt crept in, irrational but persistent, the feeling that I was hoarding warmth while everyone else suffered in the kitchen. Oatmeal simmered softly when a knock echoed through the house, dull and heavy in the storm-muted air. I assumed it was a neighbor, maybe someone asking to store food like they had during past outages. When I opened the door, a man from down the street stood there with 2 children, their small bodies stiff with cold, snow clinging to their coats. I recognized them only in passing, the kind of face you wave to but never speak what their need was obvious. And before logic could catch up, pity took control. I let them inside. They moved with unsettling precision, boots off immediately, no hesitation, no questions. The man introduced himself, named the children, and settled in as if this had already been planned. The kid sat on the couch beneath blankets, eyes forward, barely blinking, watching him more than the television. He scanned the house with casual interest, confirming, "I lived alone," offering nothing substantial about himself. Hours dragged on while the storm worsened, the sky growing heavier, the house creaking louder, every unfamiliar sound magnified by their presence. When I suggested they stay the night, the acceptance came too easily. The man took the guest room, the children curled silently on the couch, obedient and still. Sleep came uneasily, fractured by instinct and unease. And sometime after 1 in the morning, I woke to the sound of careful movement in the hallway, footsteps placed deliberately, testing the floor. The door opened slowly and the man stood there in the dark, letting his eyes adjust as if memorizing me. He left again, and the house fell quiet except for the generator's low drone. Regret set in hard then, every warning sign replaying itself in sharp detail. I stayed awake far too long, staring at the door, until exhaustion pulled me under again. When I woke, someone was breathing beside the bed. A masked figure loomed over me, dressed in black, gloved hands moving with purpose. Panic exploded. The struggle was violent and clumsy, strength pressing down until desperation gave me a moment to break free. As I fought, the children's voices rang out from the hallway, fear cutting through the chaos, the threat of police snapping something loose. The grip released. The figure fled, the front door slammed open into the storm, and the children collapsed into sobs as sirens grew closer. Police arrived quickly, finding the man in the snow with little resistance, his demeanor disturbingly calm inside. The children shook uncontrollably, one rubbing her hands raw, the other unable to look at anyone. It was the girl who had called for help using the old kitchen landline, still powered by the generator. As officers asked questions and took notes, the truth surfaced in fragments. The man was not their father. The children had been missing for years, taken from another state, part of a pattern that extended far beyond my house. As he was led past me in cuffs, snow clinging to his clothes, he leaned close enough to whisper that I was never supposed to wake. His tone flat and practiced, as if this mistake had happened before. Even after he was gone, the calm certainty lingered in the air, heavier than the storm outside. In the days that followed, the house felt unsafe despite its silence. The warmth meaning somewhere else. Another storm would come, another light would shine alone in the dark, and someone like him would be watching, waiting for the right moment to knock.